Hello, true believers. If you watched the last episode, season 12, episode 7, which was season 7 from 2013, you knew that it was a rain day for me and I could not go climbing. So yes, this is the same day. I figured I might as well do a bunch of recording and editing since I can't go outside and go climbing. So this is the first episode of season 8, which is from 2014, and this season's through line is injury, because the end of 2013, I think it was November, I went to Zion to do a big wall trip and I had a bad fall and I got injured, and of course I waited a couple months, and it wasn't until early 2014 that I realized, like, oh, this is actually like a problem. It's not just like I got hurt and I got over it. It's like I'm actually like injured. And it ended up me not climbing for 1 or 2 years. So this first episode, you get to see the Zion trip from the end of 2013 where it kicked off. So more soon. Enjoy season 8. So here we are in Zion National Park, which I went to over Thanksgiving break in November 2013. We did not do Moonlight Buttress, although that's what we went to do. As you'll see, I did the first couple pitches and had a bad fall. I thought I had just tweaked my forearm, but I found out later that I injured both my right forearm and right shoulder, and this would begin a year's worth of therapy. So stay tuned for season 8 recovery. So it's balls early in the morning and we just crossed this river, which is 44 degrees according to the rangers. We're heading on up to Moonlight Buttress, which is right over there. There's one party ahead of us and we're gonna do the first half. Sorry, the camera's shaking because I'm a little cold. And we get to do this again tomorrow in the dark, but at least we have a good spot. It was only knee deep. The other party was in up to their waists. Fuck the bullshit. This is the top of the first pitch. Looking up at the second pitch. It's a 510 C1. Then you traverse over there, and then you climb up that. So there's a nice ledge here, as you can see.
Alright, I have an idea.
You can see Natalie down there. I did the 5:10 direct start because there's another party on the 5:7 start. We hiked in from the river down there, which was really cold. Nice airy start to the first day of 2, more later. So unfortunately, after doing the second pitch, I didn't record any more video. We did the third pitch, which is the bolt ladder, and I blew out my brachialis, which is the top forearm muscle on my right arm, and so we had to retreat. So if you tune in to the next trip report, you'll see what we did instead, because we still had several days in Zion. Unfortunately, this is kind of the end of my year because I'm going to have to rehab the forearm for a month or 2. Episode 2 is literally part 2 of the Zion adventure. After I had my fall and realized I was hurt, we decided, like, well, we'll come down, we'll go into town, we'll rest. We got a hotel room, and the next day we said, well, let's salvage something. We'll do like this big, long, easy scramble, which is on Cowboy Ridge. So it was grade 4, so it would take us all day. It was a long approach, it was a long descent. We came down in the dark, and I think it was like 10 o'clock by the time we got to town, and We got microwave burritos and Ben & Jerry's for dinner. It was amazing. So I didn't realize I was injured yet, so I was still doing a lot of work, but it was like a fifth class, easy 5-4, something like that. But a long day, great time in Zion. So tune in to part 2 of the Zion injury story coming at you right now. Hello, MFSB back again with the day 2 Zion adventure. Unfortunately, due to the injury when I fell, we weren't able to go back up and complete the buttress, so we decided instead to go do Cowboy Ridge. I was to find out my injury was much more than I thought it was later, but in the meantime, enjoy Cowboy Ridge. So this is day 2, and this is not Moonlight Ridge, or Moonlight Buttress. This is Cowboy Way, which is a huge ridge. My brachialis is broke, so I'm making a movie of Natalie making a movie, and we're on the approach hike, America. So this is the beautiful, we're not in Zion National Park, Zion Wilderness, and hopefully by the end of the day we will be here again getting the it's probably dark shot of the ridge. So about halfway through the approach, we're going through this big drainage, and just over here, you can just barely see the tip, is Cowboy Way. So we're going to keep going up here and hook around, and we should probably start in about an hour. We're about 1 hour into the hike right now, but it's beautiful blue skies, and that's always nice. So here we are. We started way down there. We hiked for about 3 hours to get up here. We just did the first pitch, which is a chimney. And we're gonna start heading up this way. All that. And here is the view. Notice the winter on the horizon. So it's about noon, and we're going to scramble up this to the summit, overlooking all of this. And we came from way over here. You can't see it, it's behind this tower. We started way down there. This is about a 3-hour hike to get in and an hour to get here. We'll probably take another hour to get up there. It's all super easy. We just roped the first chimney. I ran a ridge line out, but didn't put any gear in, and then we did a wrap into a notch. More soon. So you can't see because all that stuff's in the way, but we just climbed like 3 more little spires, and then we went down into this gully. We kind of circumnavigated these 2. And that white tip over there is the top. So I think we're on the bottom of the downhill slope. Kind of high up. There's Zion proper. There's some water, there's some desert. So after we reached the summit, we were pretty exhausted and we just wanted to get down. We were tired and it was cold. Luckily we had our rope with us, so we were able to rappel down a lot of the sections that we had to scramble up. And as you can see here, this was a rather long rappel. Big chimney, took us a while to get up, but very easy to get down. And that enabled us to get down fairly quickly to the hiking portion. It was around sunset when we got there, so we're racing the sun, and it took a little while to get down into the drainage at the bottom. But once we got there, it was just a hike out. We got to the parking lot and we felt like it was midnight, but it was only like 9 o'clock. So we went to the grocery store and got microwave burritos and ice cream, and it was awesome. So if you want a good adventure climb, Cowboy Way is the way. season 8, episode 3 is called Haul Bag Hiking, and that's exactly what I was doing. It's summer, end of summer, somewhere around that time, 2014 at this point. So I had fallen in November 2013, kind of spent the winter just like nursing my wounds on my own. It wasn't until the early 2014 kind of winter period that I finally like got myself checked out and had MRIs and went to the doctor and did all the things, and they were like, yes, you have like a serious injury in both your elbow and your shoulder, like don't do any climbing, don't do anything, just like, you know, I couldn't even run because they didn't want me like doing this motion with my arm. So finally in the summer, after like 6 months of rehab, I started saying, well, I'll get back into shape and I'll start doing some scrambling and carrying progressively heavier loads. And so thinking this day, it was like 90 or 100 pounds or something. So pretty exhausting, but it was getting me strong again while still kind of babying my arm. But it was a long, hard road. So anyway, all that being said, we're back at Stony Point for haul bag hiking.
It's very hot, right, today?
Yeah,
It's 100?
I think so.
Yeah, I feel the heat. But
I've got what they call a haul bag. This is the largest size. It's pretty big. We're gonna do some quick math here. At guide school, they taught us the maximum percentage is 60% of your body weight. You should never carry more than that. So I weigh 165 pounds as of this morning. So 60% is 99 pounds. So I'm at almost 60%. Well, right now I feel fine. When we get to the top, it's gonna be another story.
okay.
One of the nice things about the haul bags is they have the top straps, so you can kind of walk like this. It helps you pull the load forward. It's really heavy, so if I stand up, I'm gonna fall back. So I have to kind of stand like this all the time. Oh, my calves are blowing up already.
This is starting.
This is how you start. Yeah, I'm going super slow today. So we're gonna go this way, wander, and then we're gonna start scrambling up.
Cool,
so all
cool.
of this has been pretty much flat.
Oh,
The second half is gonna be the part where I have to do a little kind of climbing
I
stuff.
see. Cool, cool.
This is the not glamorous part of doing the big wall, is getting to the big wall. Why do we do this? Because it's fun. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Where?
So this is the road, this is the cliff. We hiked all the way around to the back. Now we came up to the middle, and now we're spiraling back around to the front to get up to the true summit. Which is a very non-linear way to go, but when you're hiking steep, when you're hiking heavy, you can't just straight line it because you won't be able to do it. So you have to goat trail it, which is back and forth and back and forth. 90 pounds. Doing 1,090-pound squats today. As this sometimes happens when you're going up, Your bag's too big. So you get to haul the pig. So there's the two actual high points. That one there, but you can't, like, you have to climb to get on that one. And then there's one right behind you. You can just kind of scramble up to the top. So I'm just gonna go walk up on top of it. And of course, there's beer bottles up here, like unbroken, just like. Back to the car.
Yay!
I'm starting to get tired. Funny, usually when people train for climbing, they don't do any of this stuff because they're not doing a route that's going to take them 4 days to do. If they do a climb and they struggle at it for 2 hours, they get lowered down and they can just literally lay on the ground. But if you top out and you're out of food and water, you've been climbing for 18 hours a day for 4 days, and you have to hike down 6 hours, and you have to hike and then rappel and then rappel and then hike and rappel and then hike. You're doing technical stuff, and then you're scrambling, and you're exhausted, and that's when, you know, if you fall and break your ankle, or you fall and hit yourself in the head or whatever, like, it's all of a sudden it's epic. So that's why I'm doing these kind of workouts, because I need to be able to be fit for 10 hours, not for 1 hour. So even though right now all I want to do is get back to the car, lay down, like, I'm gonna have a snack, I'm gonna drink some more water, and I'm gonna do another lap, because I have to get that second, third, fourth hour in. Even though it's awful.
It finally stopped raining. Well, for now. It's supposed to rain all weekend. The next, well, it started raining yesterday and it's supposed to rain through Monday. So we have 4 days of potential rain, so no climbing this week. And there was no climbing at this point in 2014 either, because it was still rehabbing from my injury. But here we are in episode 4, so halfway through the season already, and we're going old school, not only in that I'm telling some old stories from back in the day, but we're also going old school in that this is another episode that is comprised of a slideshow, and I've done that in some of the previous seasons. So enjoy some of these tales of woe and whoa. Hello, true believer. MFSB back again. In January or so, I tried to start training again, but found out I had injured both my shoulder and elbow. So I haven't been doing a lot of climbing, but I've been digging into the archives and looking at some of the adventures I've had in the past, and thought I'd put together a couple slideshows of some of the climbing and mountaineering I did in the Adirondacks when I was living in upstate. So the first couple pictures you see were a couple shots from the Gonks, climbing in Keene Valley, going to Wall Face, and then segueing into getting up into the Adirondacks for some more mountaineering adventures in the winter. Got a cross-country ski or snowshoe in, going up the slides, dealing with a lot of snow and ice, and needing to know how to self-arrest, and learning all of that kind of more larger mountain culture, not just rock climbing skills. And it was great too, because I was able to meet a lot more kind of diverse set of people, because some people climb in the gym and other people only climb outside, other people only want to get into the mountains in the summer, other people go all year round. So I got to meet some ice climbers and some of the older guys who had been in the scene, so to speak, since like the 70s, and that was really great to learn kind of the old school way of leading with hexes and slung knots and clove hitching and protrusions on rocks, and really realizing that you didn't need the gear if you had the skill and it was a really great group of people and a really great place. So while people may think of the Gunks as New York climbing, I'd really recommend you get up in the Adirondacks. It's a much more wildernessy place, full of beauty and a lot less people. You can really get lost up there if you're not careful. But anyway, enjoy this old school upstate adventure. Episode 5 is known as Straining / if you take the S out, training, because I did start training again, and it was again a long hard road, just like getting fit in general. Still wasn't doing any climbing, but was trying to get back into big wall shape, and I had a camera person kind of documenting all this, so I want to thank them. But I was basically just in the backyard of the place I was living in, WeHo at the time, and going through all the gear and like gearing up and prepping for my first climbs in 6 to 9 months. So you get to geek out on all the stuff in this one.
Okay, so right now I'm 168.
168, true.
Here. And I sprained my tendon.
Oh.
So I have to, wearing this so I don't move my hand as much. Regularly it's just flat, but this hand,
Wow.
I have this. Usually wear long pants when you're climbing to protect your legs.
Uh-huh.
And I like wearing the cargo pants because they have the pockets down here.
Uh-huh.
Because we have a harness on, you can't use these because the harness is here. And then you always want to have a long sleeve because you're going to be outside, you know, all day, and this can protect you from the sun. And
Yep.
with a collar to protect you from the sun, and again, big pockets.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing a big wall, most of the time I'm going to wear boots, some lightweight knee pads, which I wear when I'm on the wall. And those just protect my knees. So this is my harness. It has a lot of extra stuff on it for aid climbing. And when you get up on the cliff, you don't take your harness off. Like, you sleep with it on. You basically, you put the underwear on, you put the pants on, you put the harness on, you don't take them off until you get done. Like at night, you loosen the leg loops so you're a little more comfortable, but you don't ever take the harness off because you have to be tied into the wall. So, because if you roll over, you get no harness and you fall off, then that's it. So those are my climbing shoes. If I was going to be actually free climbing. So I've got all the gear here, extra carabiners. This side I have all my cams, all my nuts, quick draws, all the equipment you would need to do the climb, like if you were leading. And then I would probably have some of these like on me as well. So now I'm 205. So before I was 168, so let's just say 165, so it's 75, 85, 95, 05. So this is 40 pounds
40 pounds.
more than just normal.
Without even the bag, right?
Yeah, no, that's just me like
That's-
climbing. This is what it's gonna
So
be.
you're climbing with 40 pounds.
40 extra pounds, yeah. This is a 40-pound weight vest. I've been wearing this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a day. I just put it on when I wake up, and I go to work, I walk around, I drive, I do dishes, I make food, whatever. I just wear it because this 40 pounds is the same as this 40 pounds. It's a good way for me to train like all day.
Yeah.
Because when I'm climbing, you know, you wake up when the sun comes up and you climb until it gets dark. So I need to get used to 40 extra pounds for like 10 hours. So, but it's not practical to walk around the house or go to work looking like this. Last week I took a rest and I didn't wear it at all. But
I feel relieved.
the 2 weeks before that,
Okay.
every day, 5 hours. Yeah, so I'm almost 210 with this vest on. Obviously this is much smaller and it doesn't move. You know, when I had all the gear on, it's all flying around and it's very loud. Like, you know, I walk around, I can run, you know, I can sit down, every time I move, it's like all that, the same weight. But this is just easy. Like I'm at work, I do this. So like you can see I have it on, but it's not as noticeable. My calves, they're the one. These are the most tired. Not my back. It's because every step you take, you go like this, and so every single step, my calves extra 40 pounds. Boom, boom. A big part of the training is not the physical, it's the prep. And if you prepare correctly, even if you're not in the best shape, if your technique is really good and you're really well prepared, you'll probably do fine. If you're very fit, but you don't know what you're doing, you don't do any prep, you're probably not going to go do very well. So it's important to do all three. Get fit, get good technique, and also be prepared. So there it is.
Episode 6 continues the kind of backyard filming and prep, where I give some tech tips on some big wall specific things like a bosun's chair and a tagline and some other things. I really wanted to shout out Eric Sloan, who founded Yosemite Big Wall, who was my big wall guru, and well, still is, because not only did we work and live and climb together when I was in Yosemite in 2009 for almost an entire year, but we've maintained a friendship and a climbing kind of relationship ever since. And he has great guidebooks and all kinds of resources. So check out Yosemite Big Wall and enjoy all the learnings, both for me and Eric and everybody else, because you want to go from like regular climbing to big wall or aid climbing. There is a steep learning curve, and I always want people to be psyched, but also to be safe. So enjoy.
This is called a bosun's chair. Sometimes when you're climbing, it takes a very long time. So this makes things very comfortable. So just use your imagination. So this is now a cliff. If I'm on the cliff for a really long time, and I'm belaying my partner, if I'm just hanging in my harness like this, my legs are gonna fall asleep, my back is gonna hurt, it's gonna be awful. But if you have a bosun's chair, when you belay, you just sit in the chair, and you just belay. You okay? Good. All right, got you. You know, maybe they go up, they're like, oh, belay. You're like, okay. Sometimes it'll just be one point. So you're literally inside the chair. Just, and you can belay. The rope right here. And then when you want to get out, you just stand on the rock. But the other thing that's really nice, because it has these loops, I've got my water right there. It has a clip, so there's some on this side, some on this side. You can clip the food onto this side and the water onto this side, and then you just sit, and you can eat and drink and relax. It's no space.
Yeah.
It weighs nothing, you just slide it down the side of the bag. Some people, when they're very ultralight, they use this. They don't bring the big pad, they just bring the little pad, and when they sleep, they just sleep like this. That's it. So, the only other thing is, you know, we have a long accessory cord here, which sometimes people bring, so that way, if I drop something or I forget something, I'm halfway up, I can have this attached to my harness, and then the other end is tied to the belayer, or to the anchor, and then I can be like, send up some water, and they clip it, and then I can just, and then let go. And it's, because this is very small, so it's very light. This weighs probably 10, 15 pounds, this is like half, or less, 5 pounds. So this is like twice as thick as this.
Yeah, I see.
But this is still very strong, so.
Okay.
So you bring like 2 of these, and then this is so much lighter than bringing 3 of these. It's pretty small. That's very big. You have to worry about both. You have to worry about volume, and then also the weight. So if it's too heavy, you're using all that energy trying to pull the bag, and it just makes you exhausted. But also if it's too big,
Yeah.
you can't fit it in the bag. So you need everything very, very small.
Compact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While season 8 is winding down, this is episode 7 that you're about to watch. There's only one more left. My climbing season was actually ramping up at this point, and I was prepping for my first big wall trip, but also just climbing trip in general in a year at this point. So in this episode, you're going to see me packing my haul bag and kind of going over the equipment and explaining what everything is. So if you don't know what any of this stuff is, enjoy. And for those of you who do some of this, maybe you'll pick up a tip. You know, there's a lot of ways to do some things, and some of the things that I show in this video, even I don't do anymore because I have new or different systems now. It's all organic, and hopefully we're all just taking, you know, our C's to B's and our B's to A's.
So this is what they call a haul bag, and this is I forget the name of this model, but it's a black diamond haul bag, and basically it's just one big tube. And so when you go up on the wall, all this stuff you can fold inside, so the outside is just smooth on all sides. And you have these straps, and you just literally hang it off of a carabiner, clip that to a rope, and then you just pull it up the wall. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of the stuff. It has a big pocket in there. You can put stuff in. You need a foam pad to sleep on. So what you do is you put this in first, and it makes a ring on the inside of the bag. And it's for two reasons. A, the extra thickness doesn't add a lot. If you roll it up, it makes a big space. But also, as you're pulling the bag up, it's going to be banging against the rock. And if you have this foam, it protects everything on the inside from hitting the rock. Usually want 1 gallon per person per day, give or take. I like these big bottles because they have a handle, so you can just drink out of it like this. And then I put these on. So when you're on the cliff, if you have an anchor, you just tip this and it hangs right there. Water is usually the heaviest thing. So this is 1 day. This is me, this is my partner.
Cool.
So these are 8 pounds each, so that's 16 pounds. For 4 days, you need 8 gallons of water. 1632. So that's 48 pounds, almost 50 pounds. Just water.
Just water.
Yep. And then I have my rain gear, probably some extra cord, because you always need extra cords. All the climbing gear we would have out of the bag, because we would be using this.
You carry on you.
Right, so I'd have it on me.
Yeah.
I was doing 2 ropes, maybe 3. We don't need all 4. You know, to bring a sleeping bag, put that in the bag. The only other thing would be food, so you'd have a bag of food. So, and of course, there'd be 2 sleeping bags, 1 for me, 1 for my partner. 2 foam pads, 1 for me, 1 for my partner. 2 sets of rain gear, 1 for me, 1 for my partner. But other than doubling those couple things, it's just water and food. But we are going to have a second bag. We're going to have this small bag. This is a haul bag as well. You haul it like that. All of this tucks inside, so it's very smooth. And by having a small second bag, in here we put like 1 gallon of water and our food and maybe a jacket for the day. You don't want it on the side because then it's too wide. But if you put it underneath, then it's all streamlined. Instead of having to open this, like you can open it and you gotta go through everything, pull out the water, drink, put it back in, you don't have to do that. You leave this closed.
Got to.
The whole day. And then this one, you take your food out,
Yes.
you eat, you drink,
I like this
whatever
better.
you do. It's very easy.
Yeah.
And also, if you have like 20 pounds in here, that means this bag is going to weigh 20 pounds less. So it makes this bag lighter.
Yes, I like
So
that.
It makes
Yeah.
everything very easy.
All right, true believer, you have made it through another season of Fresh Grow Magnum Men. This is the final episode, season 8, episode 8. And it's called PSA because El Jefe came out to visit and we went to Stony Point and did some filming because we found a bunch of trash and graffiti. And I was like, WTF, like, let's say something about that. So, you know, be a good steward of the wilderness. And one of the things that's easy to do is put your lunch in a plastic bag. And after you eat your lunch, you have a plastic bag to pick trash up with on the way back to the car or whatever. And most places there's a toilet and a trash can, or maybe just a trash can, or maybe there's nothing, but you can put the plastic bag that had your lunch in it that's now full of trash in the car and take it home with you, and you're making it a little bit better. At the end, we put out a tarp and I laid all my gear out because I had a bunch of new stuff at the time that El Jefe hadn't seen. It was just fun to geek out. So enjoy a little bit of kind of gear porn here. And thank you so much for watching. And I hope that you will stay tuned for season 9, which is the next episode. So please like, share, subscribe, all the things, and go to my YouTube channel and watch the original playlist if you want to see the originals from back in the day.
Today's tech tip is on defacing the rock. Now behind me you can see an example of someone who has done some artwork on the rock by chiseling into it, as well as just a normal kind of graffiti spray paint stuff. It really bothers me when I see this kind of stuff. To me it's an eyesore. I'm sure for other people they think it's arty or it looks cool or whatever, but as you can see, everything out here is shades of brown and gray and it looks really natural, and all of a sudden you have this really kind of neon clashing colors that just jumps right out. Unfortunately, along with this you also see a lot of broken glass and garbage. So be a good steward of the places that you like to go to, whether that's a park or a climbing area, could be a national park. Take pride in the fact that you're a rock climber, represent rock climbing well, try to refrain from damaging the rock. I know sometimes you're climbing a holder break or something like that, that's different. But if you're intentionally scarring the rock or doing some kind of graffiti, or if you see other people doing it, try to encourage them not to do that. Pick up their trash and take care of the place that you're in, because the next people are going to come in and they're going to see it the way that you left it. So leave it well for them so that you can enjoy a good experience. Everyone will pass it on to the next person.
Sing out loud, sing out loud. Do you know where to go when you're wandering through the streets? Oh, it's a shame that you can't find a new home, 'cause nobody is at your door. or died. So the song very similar to this. Just kept playing over and over and over. So then we left the room and shut the door. That's pretty much what we did. I think that's all. Ay caramba, Sunset Riders, why do you have to break my computer?